Yo guys, it's your boy King7 here, back with another video. Before we get into this video, I just want to remind you all to the kings and queens, and I hope you all having a very blessed day. And I'm back with another MLB The Show 21 video. This is going to be a Detroit Tigers rebuild. You know, the whole simulation thing where we take over a team and we get them to the top. Last time with the Royals, I couldn't win the World Series in 3 years, but I don't know if I got higher expectations with the Detroit Tigers, because when you look at their roster, it's not the greatest. Let's take a little breakdown. Let's take a little look at it. So we first take a look at their starting pitchers. Matthew Boyd is 30 years old, 82 overall B potential. Not that bad. Their starting pitchers are decent. Michael Fulmer, 28 years old, 80 overall as well. But then it kind of takes a downhill turn with Spencer Turnbull, 75 overall. But then we had Joey Wentz, 70 overall. Mize is 69 overall with A potential, and then when you scroll down here, Matt Manning 67 overall, A potential as well. Move on to relief pitchers. No relief pitchers at all to take note of. The same with the closing pitcher. I mean, Aoki's decent, 25 years old, 71 overall. Then we got this guy, Israel De La Cruz, who's A potential, but only 50 overall, so I don't know if he's going to help us at all throughout the simulation series. Then we got the catcher, Wilson Ramos. He's good overall, but he's old, so he's going to be regressing pretty quickly. The same with the legend, Miguel Cabrera, 37 years old, 75 overall, B potential. How many home runs does he have in his career? He's got 487. He's got a big contract. I might look to trade him away. Jonathan Schoop, another decent player on this roster, 80 overall, 29 years old. Candelero, 27, 76 overall. So you can see basically in every single one of these positions, there's not even exciting young prospects that we could look forward to maybe calling up and developing. At shortstop, it's the same thing with Nico Goodrum. He's older, not really special in overall. And then Willie Castro's decent though. We might be able to develop him with B potential. 23 years old, 73 overall. In left field, another old man who won't be getting any better, but we do have an A potential, Bryant Packard, 63 overall. I don't know how quickly he'll be growing either. But in center field, we finally come and see our young stud, Akil Baddoo, 67 overall, 22 years old, and A potential. He's definitely going to be starting and getting all the reps. In right field, we got Nomar Mazara, 25 years old, 71 overall, and B potential. And that's going to round out the roster. I'm going to go ahead and make some trades, and I'll be right back. In the first trade, we'll be getting rid of Miguel Cabrera's ginormous contract, which was 31 million over the next 3 years. We're also getting rid of a random other first baseman, Adrenaline Rodriguez, and Kyle Funkhauser, who is C potential, 69 overall, not going to grow too much. And we're getting Austin Meadows, the right fielder from the Tampa Bay Rays. The second trade I'll be making is trading both our shortstops that are in the majors right now, Nico Goodrum and Willie Castro, along with our A-rated closer at 50 overall. And we're going to be getting Javier Baez from the Cubs, so that's solid business right there. The last and final trade before we go ahead and simulate to the midway mark, and before I show you guys our starting five and our starting lineup, we're making a blockbuster move right here. We're acquiring Brandon Woodruff in exchange for Matthew Boyd, Spencer Turnbull, and Julio Teheran. Let's go. Accept the trade. Bang. That is all the business that we're going to be making this first season. So our starting rotation is as follows: Brandon Woodruff, our ace, Michael Fulmer behind him, Joey Wentz, Casey Mize, and Matt Manning. I'm pretty sure all three of these guys have A potential. Woodruff has A potential, and Michael Fulmer has B. So our starting rotation is looking good, but our relief pitchers and our closing pitchers, it's not good at all. And then the lineup, I'm going to be subbing in Akil Baddoo at center fielder for Victor Reyes in every single situation, because we want to grow him as much as possible. But we got Akil Baddoo, then we got Harold Castro, Austin Meadows, Javier Baez in the cleanup spot, Wilson Ramos, Jonathan Schoop behind them, and then to round out the lineup, we got Nomar Mazara, Jeimer Candelario, and Robbie Grossman. Now let's go ahead and simulate to the midway mark of the season. Hopefully, we're looking good. Before the draft commences, we do have a record of 22-34. It's not the worst in our division. The team below us is actually the Royals, the team I previously rebuilt. So we're doing good, and let's advance seemingly to the draft. I don't want to go to the draft. What happened? Alright, the draft simulated. Perfect. Let's go and see and sign our picks. See if we got any young studs. We got a 93 potential, 60 overall Brian Chen, a starting pitcher. Let's go ahead and sign that man up. Any other high potential players? No. Literally everybody else is just bad. We did get a 67 overall closing pitcher. I'll look to sign him. He might get some reps for us, and that's about it. But let's go ahead and simulate to the end of Season 1. At the end of Season 1, we finished with a record of 65 and 97. That's just absolutely atrocious. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and look at the statistics of all our players. In terms of pitching, Brandon Woodruff, he was an absolute monster. He went all the way up to a 90 overall, 15 and 8 with a 2.05 ERA. Ridiculous. We move on to Michael Fulmer, 7 and 15, 4.63 ERA. Terrible. Joey Wentz was even worse with a 5.57 ERA and a 7 and 17 record. Casey Mize, 4.73, 5 and 16 record. And Matt Manning with a 4.81, 6 and 13 record. So it's not even, before we even take a look at our lineups, how they were hitting, the pitchers were just terrible the whole year. Relief pitching, 4.07, 5.91, 9.27 ERA, 2.81. Daniel Norris seems to have been our best relief pitcher. We move down. Gregory Soto, 7.27 ERA. The ERA was just all over. Our closing pitcher had a 4.81 ERA with 2 and 7 record. It's just not good enough. When we take a look at the lineups, Akil Baddoo, or let's take a look at it like this: statistics, player stats. Let's take a look at it like this. So runs, Austin Meadows led us. I guess we'll look at them one by one. Meadows. He had 77 RBIs, 31 homers though, which is really, really good. Javier Baez, 2.21. The batting average is what's most important, I think. So let's see. Baez was a 2.21 or 221. Bro, look at all these batting averages. Absolutely horrendous. Nobody batted good for us the whole year. Nobody. RBIs, Jonathan Schoop led us. Honestly, he had a pretty decent year. 28 homers, 93 RBIs, 273 average. Austin Meadows. Him and Austin Meadows were the only two decent ones, I guess you could say. Javier Baez did supply the power, but absolutely just terrible contact. And he's not a contact hitter. He's got 55 contact against righties, 76 against lefties. More of a power bat. But you expect a little bit more, you know? And Akil Baddoo, he did pretty decent. Nothing too crazy, but it was decent. See? Did we get any league leaders? So Woodruff led the majors in ERA. Very, very impressive stuff. And then we're going to look at awards. AL Rookie of the Year, Akil Baddoo. So I guess that's probably good. Woodruff was not even in the top 3. Oh, that's the most valuable player. Shane Bieber actually won most valuable player. Let's take a look. Cy Young. How was Woodruff not in the top 3? Chris Sale got in there with a 3.58 ERA. Woodruff had a 2.05 ERA. It wasn't even top 3. He should have won it, honestly. But it is what it is. Let's take a look at the roster. Anybody go up like really high in overall? Nobody really went up. Meadows went up +3. And that's about it. Renato Nunez. Who's our starting first baseman? We didn't have a starting first baseman the whole year? Did he not bat for us? He didn't play for us this whole year. Who's our starting baseman this whole year? Jonathan Schoop. And then we had Harold Castro moved to second. All right, that's clearly a mistake by me. I should have fixed that going into the year. But nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead and simulate to the off season. In year 1, the Dodgers do defeat the Athletics with the Cinderella story, making it all the way to the 2021 World Series. With the Dodgers, they're way too stacked. But next year, we're coming for you, Dodgers. We get a trade offer from the Mariners. The opposing team has proposed this trade. They're willing to give us Andre Munoz, who's a B potential 71 overall, and all they want in return is Robbie Grossman, who's 75 overall, 32 years old, C potential. We're going to obviously go ahead and accept this offer from the Mariners. Thank you for this. I don't even know. Why would you even offer us this? I don't get it, but we're going ahead and accepting it. We have gone ahead and signed Trevor Story to a 2-year, $55 million contract. I know you guys are going to say, yo, you already have Javier Baez. Don't worry, I'm a little mastermind when it comes to all this. Alright, so I went and changed Javier Baez to a second baseman because we signed Trevor Story and he's 91 overall. And Baez went up to a 95 overall when he switched into second base. I'm telling you, I didn't change. Look, I'm going to show you guys. I didn't change any attributes, nothing. Would you go to general, switch him back to a shortstop, go and accept it, accept changes and proceed. As a shortstop, he's 88 overall. When you move him, edit player, general, move him over to second base, accept, he turns into a 95 overall. I hacked the game, guys. I hacked the game. But we're in the winter meetings right now. The only other signing besides Trevor Story made was a closing pitcher in Roberto Osuna, 81 overall, a potential 27 years old. We need to improve that spot. It was Soto was starting for us, and he had a 7.27 ERA in the closing spot. So that just wasn't good enough. But we're going to go ahead and make some trades, see if we could bring in some better players during this winter meetings session. We're trading away Grayson Griner along with Jonathan Schoop, and we're going to be getting JT Realmuto from the Philadelphia Phillies. That's an absolute steal. What was his stats last year? He had 21 homers, 67 RBIs, 231 average. So it really wasn't the best year for him, but he's not known, I guess, for his hitting. Because you can see he has never really had a lot of pop to his bat. Especially in the last 2 years, 21 homers, 11. His career high is 25. So is this the type of player we want? We really need a nice bat, and he has a $25 million salary. I'm gonna keep looking. I'm gonna definitely keep looking. Let's see if I can find something better. After looking for other options, there was no other options out there, so I'm gonna be acquiring JT Realmuto, and hopefully his bat comes alive in Detroit. The one trade we will be making before starting the simulation in Season 2 is we're going to be acquiring Lance McCullers from the Astros in exchange for Joey Wentz, Jose Urena, and Estevan Gonzalez. Estevan Gonzalez, a potential, but he's already 26 years old, 67 overall, not that high. And Joey Wentz, let's just take a look at the season he had last year, 7-17, 5.57 ERA. It's not going to help us. McCullers last year, 9-10 with a 5.31 ERA. Also not the best. Not the best. I'm not going to lie. Let's look at Jose Barrios. This is another guy. 14-8, 3.12 ERA. I'm taking Jose Barrios. And that trade is also accepted. Let's go ahead and get the trade from the Twins done. Our starting 5 rotation going into Season 2 looks like this. Brandon Woodruff, our ace, 90 overall, had an insane pitching season last year. Jose Barrios in the 2 slot. Michael Fulmer in the 3. Matt Manning and Casey Mize round out the rotation. These two guys still have a potential, so we'll see if they can grow. The relief pitchers, they look a lot better. Last year, they were like low 60s, low 70s. Like, they weren't good. Now we get a bunch of 70s out here. And then we signed Joe Smith. We got Daniel Norris from last year. And we got a new closer in Roberto Osuna. Now let's take a look at our starting lineup. We got Victor Reyes in the 1 spot. Akil Baddoo behind him. Trevor Story, Javier Baez. Those two guys are going to have so much pop to their bat. And Austin Meadows in the 5 spot also. And then followed by Nelson Cruz. I'm liking this lineup. And then we got a 93 overall catcher in the 7 spot. And Edwin Encarnacion and Jaime Candelario. This lineup's looking good, man. Let's go ahead and simulate to the draft day. We got to have a positive record for sure. Before the draft, we have a 22-24 record. It's not that bad. It's definitely much better than last year. We're going to go ahead and simulate the draft. See if we get any young prospects, sign draft picks. The first guy, a potential Ted Linter, 21 years old, 93 potential. Not bad. Let's go ahead and sign him to a 1-year deal. And other than that, everybody looks pretty bad. But we do have an 84 overall potential, Steven Imasa as well. So we're going to go ahead and sign him as well. But let's take a look at these statistics before we go ahead and simulate the rest of Season 1. Pitching rotation, Woodruff, 5-3, 4.12 ERA. He's kind of cold. Jose Barrios has a 3.0 ERA, 3-3. Fulmer's 4-2 with a 4.33 ERA. Joe Jimenez has came into the starting lineup. Where is my guy Manning? Manning seems to have been sent down to AAA for some reason, but Casey Mize is 2-3 in the 5 spot. The lineup, let's see if anybody just sticks out like a sore thumb, doing bad. Akil Baddoo's doing terrible. Trevor Story's 13 homers, 303 batting average. Javier Baez not looking good. Meadows not looking good. Nelson Cruz has the power back going, but the average isn't there. JT Realmuto, 0 homers, 4 RBIs, 1.82 ERA. 1.82 average. It's not good. Edwin Encarnacion is looking a lot better than these high overall players. And Jaime Candelario is doing decent. But let's go ahead and we need to call up the man. What's his name? Matt Manning, we got to call him back up to the majors. I don't know why he's in AAA. We got to call him back up, and we got to start him. I guess he was 1-5 with a 5.76 ERA. He got sent down. Maybe that was why. That would make sense, to be honest. Before we go ahead and submit the rest of season 2, we are making one final trade to make a playoff push. We're acquiring Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals, 26 years old, a potential 89 overall, and he's on fire this season. He's 5-1 with a 3.53 ERA, and we're getting rid of Matt Manning. He just has not been performing at all in his 2 seasons with us. Last year, 4.81 ERA. This year was even worse with a 5.76, and we're also trading away A.J. Ladwig. But let's see, can we give him someone worse? We can give him someone worse. Can we give him John Lacey? All right, that's not going to work. We'll give him Jose Appleton. It's not going to work. Alex Fideo. All right, Alex Fideo is going as well. In our second year, we finished with a record of 87-75, and still this wasn't good enough to make the postseason. Saying they're letting us know better luck next season. The regular season's come to an end. Let's take a look at our roster. I guess take a look at our ratings. Or let's first take a look at our pitching rotation. So we brought in Brandon Woodruff. This is his second year, 17-6, 2.58 ERA. So was even better this year than last year. His ERA was a little bit worse, but he got more wins and less losses. Jack Flaherty we brought in 16-6. He went for us 3.10 ERA. Very, very good. Jose Barrios. All these guys had great ERAs. Michael Fulmer, not so much. Same with Casey Mize. Casey Mize, it might be time for him to head out the door because our pitching rotation has been crazy. And I mean, these top 3 guys pitch so crazy that I'm concerned to look at our starting lineup, how they batted. Because look at that's what I'm saying. 229 average, not good. 219 average, not good. Story, 40 homers, 108 RBIs, amazing, incredible. Baez, 214 average, 18 homers. It's not good enough. Austin Meadows, 264 average with 30 homers, 77 RBIs. Decent year. JT, he bounced back with a 277 average. I remember early on he was at like a 1.8 average. Was bad. Edwin Encarnacion did his thing. Same with Jaime Candelario did his thing. I think this was Nelson Cruz. I'm guessing he retired. So we're gonna have to we got to get more bats in here. That's going on. No more Mazzara, he actually batted very, very well, so we might look to put him as our DH, I guess, moving forward. But I don't know, man. Let's take we won some league leaders. Brandon Woodruff again had the best ERA in the league, and Jaime Candelario had the most walks out of all third basemen. Let's take a look at the other awards. MVP goes to Mike Trout. Cy Young, nobody in the Cy Young race for us yet again. So that was the only thing I thought we could possibly win. But year 2, no playoffs. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the roster ratings. Baez went down 3 ratings because he's been terrible for us since we acquired him. First year 221, next year 214. At least the first year he had 30 homers. You know what I mean? At least he had that going for him, but he's gonna have to go. He has to go. I can't keep him around any much longer. But the top end of our roster is just ridiculous. Look how many 90 overalls we got, and then 80s, and then it quickly goes down to 70s and below. We got to add more depth to our roster, and we got to get more bats in Season 3. In Season 2, the Angels have defeated the Braves, so the Dodgers do not go back-to-back. This time, the Angels, led by MVP Mike Trout, win the World Series. To clear up some cap space and I guess to get better bats, and we're trading for DJ LeMahieu, who is a much better hitter than Javier Baez has proven to show up until this point. And we're getting rid of JT Realmuto. It didn't work out. We're bringing in Gary Sanchez, who last year, he didn't have a very good year, but we're clearing up cap space and we're going to try bringing in better pieces all around for our team. We end up losing Jose Barrios to the Dodgers, who offered him 5 years, $155 million. That's tough. We're going to stop simulating, and I got to go ahead and get a pitcher. The 2 free agents we ended up signing so far is James Paxton, a starting pitcher, and Andrew Benintendi, a left fielder. We still desperately need a first baseman. There's really nobody here of interest. Of course, is Trey Mancini. What did he do last year? 30 homers, 89 RBIs. That'll get the job done for me. How much you want, man? I'll give you 1 year, $4 million. Bang, 4.5. Let's hope he accepts that. Here's where we finesse the system, and we're going to go ahead and trade James Paxton just after signing him. He's getting $24 million a year, man. We're trading him away for Joe Musgrove, who's getting $8.9 million a year. What was Joe Musgrove's stats last year? 2.92 ERA. Yeah, that'll work. 13-3. Yeah, that's a great trade from us. It gets accepted. Considering Casey Mice has been absolutely terrible for us throughout this whole entire simulation, he's got a combined record of 13-34 with a 4.82 ERA. Not looking good. We're trading him away, and Bryant Packard. He's packing up his bags and he's leaving. He did play for the big leagues last year. 225 average, not good. We're getting Tyler Glasnow. Last year he went 8-11, 4.24 ERA. He's got the stuff in him though. As you can see, look at his track record. Bad season, good season. Bad season, good season. Bad season. This year will be a good season for him, and we're going to be acquiring him. Our starting pitching rotation for year number 3, we got Jack Flaherty as our ace, Brandon Woodruff behind him, Tyler Glasnow, Joe Musgrove, and Michael Fulmer. The bullpen, Tyler Alexander, solid, Kenny Carrillo, Joe Jimenez, Daniel Norris, and Roberto Osuna and Gregory Soto are going to be closing out games. And looking at our lineup, we got Victor Reyes, Jaime Candelario, DJ LeMahieu, Trevor Story, Austin Meadows, Trey Mancini, Gary Sanchez, Andrew Benintendi, and Akil Baddoo. Nonetheless, if Akil Baddoo struggles, I'll bring in Nomar Mazara. But I like our lineup. We got 370 overalls, and the rest is looking good. With the pitching rotation we have, I think we should definitely be able to make a run towards the World Series. I'll be going ahead and simulating to the draft. Somehow, someway, we've put together the best roster we've had all year, all of these years, and we're 19-30. Things are coming, and things are coming fast. Changes are coming. Simulate the draft. Let's see. Do we get any studs that we could potentially put in our lineup now? We got one good player with good potential. Everybody else is terrible. But I got to go ahead and make trades. That's what I got to do right now. Fulmer is 1-5 on the year with a 4.11 ERA, so we're going to be trading him away and getting Lucas Giolito, who from the White Sox, who is 4-4, but he's got 3.70 ERA. He's looking better. We're going to be trading away Trey Mancini also and Nick Dunn, which got to be improved. We got to improve this team somehow, and I think the pitching needs to be improved. Sounds like a good deal to us, and now I'll be making trades and getting some bats in. The perfect bat, we need Jared Walsh from the White Sox. We're trading away Trey Flowers and 2 very exciting prospects in Akil Baddoo and Riley Green. It's what's got to be done, though. We'll go ahead and make the trade. Right before the trade deadline in Season 3, the two trades I made definitely paid off. We were 19-30, now we're 51-51. So things have been going on the on and up, but we still have to make some trades if we want to be able to make the playoffs. I'm not sure what trades need to be made. I'm trying to see who's struggling a lot, and our whole lineup everybody seems to be very, very average, but our DH is a 75 overall, so maybe I could go and just get an absolute stud and run him at DH. So let me go ahead and make the one final piece, the one final trade I need to make to complete the puzzle. The final piece of the puzzle is getting Gleyber Torres from the Yankees. We're going to be trading away a lot of good youngsters. Brian Chen, a potential 68 overall. Then we're going to move over. We're trading away Ted Linter, another A potential player, and Nomar Mazara. Let's go. This has to put us over. Our lineup it's too ridiculous. I went to the trade block. The Yankees are trying to get rid of him. Let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. There's no way that we end up choking this. And at the end of Season 3, we do not make the playoffs. All 3 years, we didn't make the playoffs. Now it's 82-80 record. We're going to go ahead and stop simulating. Let's just go ahead and show you what these players did. Pitching rotation, 15-6 from Flaherty, 12-13 from Giolito, 8-14 from Glasnow, 16-10 from Woodruff. Woodruff was absolute beast, and 12-11 from Musgrove. All of them had decent ERAs except Giolito and Glasnow. I'm upset, guys. Let's not even look at the roster yet. Let me go ahead and look at the lineup. Victor Reyes, Candelario, Gleyber Torres, Trevor Story, Jared Walsh, Austin Meadows, DJ LeMahieu, Gary Sanchez, and Benintendi. Literally, how many 90 overalls? We got 1, 2, 3. We got 3, and then I just don't understand how this team did not make the playoffs. Like, let's go look at, we didn't win a single award. Nobody led the league in any statistical category. You look at the roster: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 90 overall players. And we got some mid-80s and 80 overalls here. Like, let me see a team. Let me go and see a team that made the playoffs over us. Like, did I do something wrong? Like, how did this time everything just went so bad? Let me go to the standings. All right, 87 and 75, the White Sox. Let's go look at the White Sox roster. Can I do that? Okay, yeah, we can. White Sox have... Where are they at? Did I pass them? All right, the White Sox. All right, they're pretty stacked. They're very stacked also as well. And I don't even think their record was that crazy either. Standings, yeah, 87 and 75, a little bit better than us. The Indians, 83 and 79. Did they make the playoffs still over us? No, they didn't. What other team made the playoffs? The Astros, Red Sox. Like, I'm confused. Every other team, like, they really had a crazy, like, they were crazy like that. The Yankees, of course, are going to have a crazy roster. All right, let's go look at the Astros. Astros and Angels. I can't believe we did. The Angels, Mike Trout. All right, they got a good roster also. What could I have done better? How could I have made this team any possibly better? Where are the Astros at? The cheating Astros. They got 390 overalls. Alex Bregman. I don't know. I'm proud of the roster we put together. I think the starting pitchers, especially 94, 92, 90, 90, 85. Like, our worst starting pitcher was 85 overall. Our relief pitchers were good. 82, 79, 77. Our closing pitcher, look at our closing pitchers. They were good. Gregory Soto was in the minors. Maybe I should have called him up. Roberto Osuna was actually terrible. 3.61 ERA. I mean, Kenny Carrillo, 4.33 ERA as relief pitchers. I just don't understand how this team did not make the playoffs any of the years. But nonetheless, I had fun. I think I built a really, really good roster. I had fun, nonetheless. But if you guys did make it to the end of the episode and you did enjoy this rebuild, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and comment down below what team you want me to do next. All right? It's been your boy, King7, and I'm out. Peace.